July 10th, 2025. Okay, y'all. So first things first. Let me know your thoughts on today's episode down below. What did y'all think? Look, I was expecting Nicole to do something, but I wasn't expecting her to choke her. But I said she walked right into her trap. She walked right into her trap. But look, Ted's stupid. I hate to call people stupid, but he's stupid. I'm gonna say foolish. Ain't that the same thing? This man, first of all, he asked his wife what's wrong with her. Then instead of following after her to check on her, make sure she's okay, especially after what she said about the hotel or whatever, Leslie ends up saying or asking him to take her home. He told my son, yeah, okay. I said, okay, Leslie, that same dress you was telling Nicole about, just whip it out and you got him. I said, just whip it out and you got him, because what the world going on? I said, why would you shouldn't want to be nowhere near her. That's just like the other episode where he invited her. Well, he didn't invite her in, she invited herself in, but he allowed her to stay in there, in the hotel room or whatever. And I was like, dude, Ted, you ain't never getting Nicole back. I said, at this point, just give it a wrap. You, the next thing you know, she'll be bringing over them divorce papers. I said, go and get drawn up, girl, because then, what did he tell Kat? I think he said something about he getting tired of being her punching bag. And she's like, remember, you're the one that cheated. I said, exactly. You can't, I always tell y'all this. You can't, people feel like, one, they could do you wrong or whatever. Then they could tell you when you should get over it, or how you should get over it, or how you should react to it. And that's how I feel like Ted doing. But at the same time, now, when some time has passed and if she continued down this road, then, yeah, I understand. But as of right now, no. He had like he's somebody's victim. But I said it won't be long now before Dana, aka Leslie, ends up hooking back up with him. But yeah, on today's episode, so we're gonna start with what's the girl name? Haley and Leslie. She over here trying to get Haley to join forces with her, and as of right now, Haley declined. She declined or whatever, but I definitely think they're gonna end up joining forces. But she was just telling her, how the Duprees have done us and how we've been done, and we this and that, and we have a lot in common, and just trying to get a friend, because she was saying how she ain't got nobody, and she was telling Haley she ain't got nobody either. Hold on. And Haley just kept talking about Bill. She got Bill and this baby. And I was like, okay, now is she pregnant or not? Because it looked like she ain't pregnant. I was like, come on now, stop beating around the bush. Just like with the whole Martin situation. They over here trying to trick us up and stuff. But yeah, Ted and Eva. So Ted, it's revealed that, yes, Kat did sabotage Eva or whatever. Something about, what did they say it was, y'all? What type of paperwork? But that episode I was telling y'all about where that notification popped up, that's it right there. She set her up. She set her up. But yeah, Ted was just upset about it because, it's going to cost them. They're going to be fined and all this other stuff. And he was like, he got to call Kat. He ends up calling Kat, and she acting like she ain't did diddly freaking squat. Because then Ted was like, he thought about it. And he was like, you didn't, do anything, did you? And she's like, no, I would never do anything like that. And he was just on the outside of the door listening and stuff. I was like, she better than me. I'll bust up in there and tell the truth. I feel like Ted would have believed her too. I definitely feel like it. And I feel like she keep proving that she like her mama and she hasn't changed too. I feel like she has. But yeah, to end that off, Kat and Eva, she waited till Ted left. And then she came in and she confronted her. She told her she was basically a spoiled, B-word, and all this other stuff. And she was like, that's the best you got? So she warned her. She was like, okay. Basically, she gonna get her back. And I said the way she gonna get her back is going after Tomas. She gonna go after Tomas. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like. She gonna go after Tomas and sleep with him. But we'll see, though. Because I've been seeing a lot of people post their predictions and stuff on Facebook or whatever. People don't say a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know if y'all seen it or not. But yeah, Shanice and Ashley felt some type of way because Shanice was with Derek. She was saying how, she invited him out to thank him and all this other stuff. She done threw the little tablet thing over there and everything. And Shanice was trying to tell her, you got to be professional and stuff. But she felt some type of way. And then here come Derek. No, first, was it Derek that came first or Haley? I think Derek came first. And he was like, he having problems with his back and stuff. Excuse me. So she was just helping him with that. I was like, you trying to make Ashley jealous. You trying to make her jealous. She just kept watching them and stuff like that. And then she started talking about Andre and how she helped deliver the baby to Haley. And I was like, Haley don't care nothing about that. She over here trying to fake her own pregnancy. What you talking about? Allegedly. We don't know yet. But yeah, she just kept watching them and stuff like that. What else happened? Hold on. Haley ends up showing up talking about she got a follow-up appointment with her doctor. I said, liar. I was waiting on them to show her something. They ain't show nothing. They just showed her talking to Ashley about it. And Ashley had a flashback where she remembered the doctor or the nurse, whoever that lady was, saying that, she declined the ultrasound. And she just was thinking about that. And Haley just kept talking to her and stuff like that. She was like, what's wrong with you or whatever. So then she ended up going back there, but they never showed if she actually seen a doctor or not. They didn't show it. They just showed her coming back to my son. Yeah, everything is fine. The baby's doing good. Oh, he's a lying. Oh, I must have lying. Hey, what girl? I said, she lying. I think it's pretty obvious that she lying. I don't know if she gonna be pregnant for real down the line or what, but it look like she ain't pregnant for real. I don't know. But yeah, and then she ends up leaving. Ashley was about to call Andre, but she did. I don't think she did she? But yeah, Andre ends up showing up. Pamela and Danny was talking about Danny modeling, and she was like, no, she don't want to do it because, she older now. She don't think nobody be into it or whatever. I said, actually, there's a lot of older women that model and do a darn good job too. So, but yeah, I was saying Danny should have modeled to begin with. Well, went back to modeling. I've been saying that. Excuse me. I've been studying saying that or whatever. But yeah, that's when Andre came, asked her what she was doing or whatever. So Pamela left. So then Danny was like asking him what he doing with Ashley and stuff like that. And then she got up close to him or whatever. Then next thing you know, they start kissing and doing the do. Where they went upstairs to do or whatever. And I was like, Andre said he wasn't going to miss his moment. Well, yeah, I was like, look at these two. And Ashley over here, like she realizing her true feelings for this man. But I do think that he wants her. I don't think it's going to last. But because y'all know with soap operas, they recycle a lot. A lot. Next thing you know, Haley will be with Andre. Let's see. We already talked about Danny and Pamela. Leslie and Nicole. So Nicole ends up, she was stopping by and she seen Leslie, and Leslie invited her to sit down. So she tried to get her to confess. She tried to get her to confess that she did that to Laura, and she was like, she didn't do nothing and acting innocent or whatever. So then she started talking about Ted and how he was, and the fact that she was trying to get pregnant so bad and had all these miscarriages. See, I'd be mad. You're gonna sit up here and confide in this lady about all this stuff. And I was like, now that'll lead me to divorce you right there. She just kept on talking about it, and that he been talking to us. He been talking or whatever. He making it very obvious, or he made it very obvious. She just kept talking about the miscarriages and stuff. So she was just making her upset, started talking about a dress that she still got. She was like, because I think Nicole said something about she wanted to get in to get Ted DNA. She was like, I don't need to get in there to get Ted DNA. I got a dress that has his DNA all over. I said, I smacked the taste. I said, smack her. I said, that wasn't the only thing she said. She was just talking about how she had her husband just over here trying to trick her. And I was like, don't fall for it. But at the same time, when she kept on, I was like, smack her, something. But yeah, then I think Nicole was finna leave. And I don't know what made her sit back down. Then they got up. And she just started talking about cat this and that, just talking about her daughter and stuff. Then next thing you know, Nicole just lost it. And by that time, Ted was right there. She lost it. She started charging after her. Did y'all see the dude that was sitting down? Did y'all see his face? I said, that poor man. But yeah, hold on. She done fell all up on the man and stuff. She choking her and stuff. And this fool, Ted, he talking about some, what's wrong with you? Or whatever. And Dana over here acting like she just so, she just heard and all this other stuff, coughing and drinking this man water. She just drinking this man water and stuff. And she act like she out of breath. So Nicole was mad because Leslie had mentioned something about a hotel, about Kat walking in on them. I was like, I ain't need to do nothing. That's why he shouldn't have let you stay up in there. He shouldn't have invited you in. Well, not invite you in, but if you've seen the episode or whatever. But yeah, that was one of the things that upset her, talking about the hotel. Because before Nicole left, she ends up mentioning that about the hotel or whatever, and she left. Instead of following after her, he stays and listens to Dana. Dana talking about some, what she said, I think he told her to drink some water, and she was just acting like she just couldn't drive. I can't drive myself home or whatever. Then she told my son, can you drive me? Yeah, sure. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with him? I was like, well, you didn't learn. I said, Leslie, just take out the dress. Once he get there, go on get that dress you was just talking to Nicole about and put it on. You got him at this point. What the world going on? I said, you ain't supposed to be nowhere near her. You supposed to went after your wife. He told me, I said, yeah. She obviously faking. If she's sitting up here trying to take people out, why would you care? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. He don't sit up here talking about he taking her home. She talking about something. Can you take me home? He talking about, yeah. I said, you fool. I said, you fell for the oldest trick in the book. I said, and that's how she gonna get you. You done sealed the deal. You never get Nicole back now, especially if you hook up with her. But yeah, I was like, Ted, don't you do it? I was like, okay, he see through her. He gonna say no. Yeah, I take you. And he started to walk out, whatever. And she turned around. She winked at somebody. I guess us. I don't know. She winked at somebody, and I said, that's sad. You don't sit up here and fell for the trap. You shouldn't be nowhere near her, especially when you was one of the ones that said she was dangerous. Make it make sense. I wasn't even gonna do no review today, but I seen that. I said, you fool. I said, what the world? But yeah, I think that's it, y'all. Let me make sure. Ted asked Nicole what's wrong with her. Leslie was talking about Cat and applying the cat caught them in the egg. Yeah, that's it. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, do have a great rest of the day and be safe.